This message comes from Jackson. Taxes aren't something you can only think about once a year. With investments, planning for tax day is year-round. Fortunately, Jackson offers tax-efficient products. Visit jackson.com for more information on how our products can make your tax bill a little bit less painful. Jackson is short for Jackson Financial Incorporated, Jackson National Life Insurance Company, Lansing, Michigan, and Jackson National Life Insurance Company of New York, Purchase, New York.
Hello, and welcome back to the Psych Legal Pop podcast. This is a podcast where we talk about popular culture through the lens of an attorney and a therapist. I'm Brooke Brigham, I'm the attorney.
And I'm Tess Brigham, I'm the therapist.
And we are here today to talk about Sister Wives Season 18. This is Episode 8. The writing is on the wall, or writing on the wall.
Yes.
Now, before we get into this episode,
yes,
we have to discuss the big news.
Yes.
So, today, this is Sunday, October 8th.
Yes.
Yesterday, Saturday, October 7th, Christine Brown and David Woolley officially tied the knot.
Yes. Yay.
Yes. And it was, we woke up today. It was all over the internet, People Magazine exclusive. And I think I predicted, I knew there was going to be a People Magazine exclusive.
Yes.
And so we have, the few pictures they've released. Absolutely beautiful wedding. It was in Moab, Utah, in this very scenic, the backdrop is, this huge, gigantic, rock formation. Very pretty, kind of the flowers and the colors all kind of were a rustic, sort of deep rust, purple-y, cream. Very, very pretty. And Christine looked gorgeous.
Yes. And Janelle wore this. She looked great. Janelle wore this lavender colored dress.
Like a pale pink.
Yeah. I mean, she looked great.
Yeah.
David he was wearing all black.
He was wearing black. He looked good.
Yeah, he looked great.
So
I guess, is she going to be, I guess she's Christine Woolley now, or?
I don't know.
I think she's going to drop the brown.
You think she'll change her name?
I think she would.
Yeah. Yeah, so apparently it was a very big wedding. It was 330 people.
Wow, which is a lot for second weddings.
Yeah, well, they both have big families.
Yes.
And they just really wanted to, basically invite everyone they knew. And the night before, it said in the People Magazine article, everyone who was there for the wedding went on this Colorado riverboat cruise.
Oh.
Because it's right on the Colorado River. And Peyton and Christine's father walked her down the aisle.
Oh.
Yeah. Which I thought was very sweet.
Nice.
Yeah. And then, they had a big reception with barbecue and, this was cute. So David Woolley is a big Star Wars fan. And so he had a Darth Vader groom's cake.
Okay.
That was very important to him.
Yes. Maybe that's why he wore all black. He wanted to be like Darth Vader.
Yeah. No, I thought he looked great too.
Yeah.
They both
He's very cute.
Yeah.
I think he's cute. I think he's cuter than Kody.
Yeah, and a hell of a lot nicer, that's for damn sure.
Treats her well, loves her, just adores her. Yeah. So I am very, very happy for Christine. I'm so happy. She is so happy. She looks beautiful. She's never looked happier than she is right now, and she deserves it. And I'm just glad that this second half of her life is going to be really beautiful.
Yeah, and I guess when they were, maybe after the ceremony, when they were leaving, they played the song At Last by Etta James.
Yeah. So hopefully that shows Janelle there is hope.
Well, yeah. Speaking of Janelle, tonight's episode, Janelle finally, puts the nail in the coffin.
Yeah, it seems like it. And this has got to be it, right? I mean, well, I don't know. This was a frustrating episode because, you feel emotionally drained after the episodes, yet nothing ever happens.
Yeah,
we have not moved. We do not have any more additional information. We just have like little more nuggets of oh, okay. Oh, I didn't know that. Oh, okay. That's interesting.
Well, I do believe there was forward motion with Kody and Janelle.
Yes.
She was pretty clear about that.
So you think Kody finally gets it now?
Well, I don't know if Kody gets it, but Janelle was very definitive that, she agreed to go out on one last date with him.
No, she was just trying to fill up time. She's like, well, no one else has asked me, so I might as well just go with this guy.
To go to this fancy restaurant that she's always wanted to go to. But she made it very clear that on that date, she had no feelings for him. But we can get to that when we get to it. But
so it starts off with Robin and Kody in separate cars driving over to Meri's house.
Yeah, and they say hello to each other like they hadn't seen each other in a few days.
Yes.
Like, hi, how are you? Why can't you come in the same car?
I don't, because
what is this charade that would stop?
Well, and so this is this weird dynamic that happens at Meri's house. Like we're witnessing this really bizarre dynamic between all these people and no, I mean, I don't even know what to say anymore about it. Yeah, because so
Kody he said he had to sit, he couldn't sit next to Robin. Like he had to sit on the end of the island, and Robin was on the other end of the island with Meri, and he was saying it was because they still have to maintain this charade that they can't show PDA or show affection towards another wife in front of another wife. And it's like, what you can't sit next to Robin without touching
groping her?
Yeah.
I mean, and so Kody is angry. He's angry that he and Robin cannot expose their love.
Yeah.
That's what he says, expose our love to each other.
Their place of comfort. Or what does he call? Place of solace.
Solace, yes.
That's what he calls their love. Their love.
Is a place of solace for him. So he wants to be able to show that to Meri, but he can't. To Robin.
No, not to Meri.
Sorry, not to Meri. But, and then first she notices the ring. She notices that he has this new ring. So the Claddagh ring, which was given to him by all the wives together, as we saw in the first season.
And they all wore.
It kind of united them all. He's not wearing that anymore. He's wearing this, I guess it's a David Yurman.
That
big
artist
ring,
he likes.
Which obviously Robin bought for him.
Yeah, it's his new engagement or wedding ring or whatever.
Yes. But the thing is that she makes a comment about it, and he gets instantly defensive, instantly just like, what do you mean? No, it's just a ring, And Meri rightfully says, if you didn't want me to see it, or if it wasn't such a big deal, or it was a secret, then why are you wearing it here? Like, why are you here with it? It does feel like a bit of a declaration of,
because she says he's not wearing the Claddagh ring.
So Meri is going to finally tell him that she is downsizing and moving the clothing business to her B&B. I always say Airbnb, to her B&B.
Yeah, well, first they have this awkward kind of banter in the beginning. And Kody's saying, Meri and I don't have a marriage. Not really. And then he says, everything's going good. He's like, everything's good, right? And Robin's like, things are not good. There's just all this random banter.
Yeah.
Between all of it's so awkward. And Meri can't even really bring herself to say anything. Like Robin has to say, okay, now Meri has something to tell you.
Yes.
Meri, tell Kody what you need to tell him. It's just so awkward.
But she feels so awkward because it is such a awkward conversation. But essentially, right, let's call a spade a spade. Meri wants him to still want her. So she does not want to tell him straight out, I'm leaving, because she fears that will be the nail in the coffin for her and their marriage. And Robin doesn't want it to end because Robin's so hung up on this plural marriage, though she does not act like she wants to be in plural marriage. But she's so desperate to have Meri hang around so that she can call it plural marriage.
Right, even though Meri has said, Robin never calls me.
Yeah.
I never see her.
So here's the question. Why is Robin so attached? Is it just like she just wants to be in plural marriage? Or does she know that, oh no, without Meri here, there's no show? I mean, why is she so...
even know.
Because Kody later says that he only keeps these women around essentially as a way of he doesn't want to look bad in front of Robin.
Right.
He doesn't want to abandon Meri because that would make him look bad.
He knows how important this plural marriage is to Robin. But you know what? That's not true either. She says it is, but then if it is, you wouldn't be ignoring Meri when she's living there and you're not calling her. You're only upset now because now it's on the show and she's saying she's going to move and you're going, oh shit. I mean, is Robin that religious that she feels like there's got to be more than one wife or we won't go to the celestial kingdom?
I mean, maybe it's got to be something like that. Or I think Robin's the kind of person who fixates on something, much like Kody, very similar, right? Mm-hmm. Kody had a vision of one big family living on Coyote Pass and everybody loving him and letting him be a king and rule over them and let him do whatever he wants. That's his dream. Her dream is to be in this plural marriage for whatever reason. She's so stuck on it so desperately.
But she never took advantage of any of the benefits of it. I know. Wanted to be part of it. I know. Got a babysitter.
But I think she liked the idea of it more than that.
Yeah. I don't know. Think they want Meri's money because this comes out a little bit later where Kody does try to get her to stay as a way to help pay off the property and maybe pay some rent or something. But anyway, we'll get to that. But it's just very awkward. And when she says, I'm going to downsize and move to the B&B, he's like, cool.
Yeah, he does not care.
He's like, that's good, right? Yeah. And then Robin is saying, please give her something to hold on to. And it's just, it's just round and round, like I'm just getting a headache from it. So thankfully we switched to another scene.
Garrison bought a house. Garrison bought a house in Flagstaff, and Gwen and Gabe are going to be his new roommates. And are going to pay rent. Tenants, sorry.
He's a very serious landlord.
Yes, he is. I'm sorry. Tenants.
They are going to be signing leases, and the mothers are co-signing. Mm-hmm. So that somebody's on the hook for that rent.
So Christine's very concerned about the situation, about all three of them living together. Mm-hmm. I think she's worried about boys in a bathroom. She's worried about them fighting. She's worried about this and that. But Garrison's protecting himself. So Garrison's like, well, that's fine. You're co-signing.
He's got his lease. So that's all he needs.
And what did Gwen then makes a joke about coming out of the closet. Mm-hmm. And so it's announced that she came out as bisexual a year ago. And then Gabe sort of describes what's going on in the family, which is they are, how did he say it? It was like all abandoned ships, and we're abandoning the ships and we're all in our own lifeboats.
Yeah.
And that's a good way of talking about it because that's really what's happening.
So each mother is basically, taking care of her kids, and they're all doing their own thing.
Yeah. So now we're back at Meri's. Oh God. And Kody says that Meri's B&B, it's a safe and happy place for her. Okay. And then he starts to get into this whole thing about the clothing racks. Like he becomes obsessed with, well, are you going to move the clothing rack all in one piece? And that's all he cares about is like, how are you going to move this stuff?
And then Robin says, see, he remembers, he really cares.
Because he remembers some random thing that happened 5 or 6 years ago.
Yeah, when they moved the clothing racks before and he's recounting some story. And Robin says, see, this is proof he really does care because you wouldn't remember details like that unless you really cared about somebody.
Which is so ridiculous. Like, Robin, I remember random details about people I hate too. Or people I don't care about either. And that is, she's like, but I just wonder if there's something there. It's just there. And then Kody gets into that whole thing. He's like, I don't need this pressure from Robin to stay with Meri. So, that's a whole dynamic there.
And then Robin says that this could be a deal breaker. Mm-hmm. Really, Robin? Where are you going to go? Where are you going to go? If Meri leaves, if everybody leaves and it's just you and Kody, where are you going to go? What are you going to do?
Nothing.
So
we go back to Garrison's. And we get, again, Christine really wants Janelle to move in next door to her in Utah. Mm-hmm. And then they talked about the holidays and how, the holidays, how fun it was to be together and that they are going to spend their holidays together. And then I thought this was really interesting, but Christine's talking about Kody's absence. And she said, Kody was never really around for us. So my kids aren't very sad about him, or they don't miss him as much. Mm-hmm. But Janelle's kids really do miss him.
Right.
And Janelle is worried about Gabe and Garrison and how they're dealing with the absence of a father or this male figure. But I thought that was really interesting, that it must have been, I guess I never really understood or saw this or knew this, that I always kind of in my mind thought that Kody saw Janelle and Christine as kind of the same. And it's very, very obvious that he really does like Janelle.
He favors her much more
than Christine, because you can see it, like he was spending time with the kids. He was much more there. They had their Renaissance. Mm-hmm. I don't know. They must be doing some freaky deaky stuff or something. I don't know.
Yeah, no, he has just never liked Christine, sadly.
Yeah. And I don't know. It's interesting.
Yeah. So,
I don't understand why.
Yeah. And then Gabe explains that, what really was the problem was that when he and Garrison tried to talk to Kody about COVID and how he basically just abandoned their household, Kody just put up a wall and just refused to even acknowledge their feelings. Mm-hmm. And that is the wedge that has been existing ever since.
Yeah.
Now we have to go back to Meri's house.
Oh, God. And so this is where Robin starts to try to get Meri to talk about the relationship. And so Meri tells Kody that she's not leaving the family or Kody. And of course, we're getting Kody on the other end going, okay.
Good on you.
Good on you. And he's like, has no effect on me.
Yeah. And he says he doesn't even understand why she's living in Flagstaff.
Yes. Yeah.
And Meri can't even get the words out of her mouth. Robin has to coach her.
Yeah.
She has to say, okay, Meri, now what do you want to say now? What do you want to tell Kody? Remember, you're supposed to tell him
that you're not abandoning the family, that you're still going to be here, that you're just moving the clothing business.
Yeah. And then there's just all these confessionals of Kody saying, okay, so what? I don't care. It doesn't affect me. I don't care.
Yeah. Oh, boy.
Yeah, and Robin's even saying, well, Meri's not moving there. She's not actually moving. She's not moving into the... She keeps just saying all these things, and they're just staring at her like, okay.
Mm-hmm. Well, then she does come out. Did she come out and say this to Kody, that she still has hope that they could be together?
She says, I don't want you to think. She said, okay, because Robin's being so awkward with what she's saying. So Meri finally just comes out and says, look, I don't want you to think I'm walking away because, sorry, I still have hope.
Yes.
And Kody just stares at her blankly and says nothing.
Yes. Yeah. And he's so worried. He is so worried about Robin losing respect for him.
Yeah.
That he cannot tell her what's going on. But he does say later on in this conversation, he does say that it sounds like what Kody's saying to us, I don't know if this is true or not, is that he has gone to Meri and tried to broach these conversations and try to talk to her about their relationship, and that in turn, she's been very defensive and puts this wall up and won't even talk about it.
Yeah, like, I'm not leaving. I'm part of this family. Yeah, because I remember that from maybe a season or two ago. She was saying, I started this family. And kind of like, I'm not just going to walk away from it.
Yeah.
So no matter how badly Kody treats me.
I'm just going to keep putting up with his shit.
Taking it.
Yeah. So we learn that it's Janelle's birthday. So we also learn that this has been almost 6 months since their fight in December. So
it's May,
which is Janelle's birthday. So Janelle and Kody are going to go out on a date for her birthday. And then we come back to Meri. Oh, God.
Back to Meri's house.
But Kody does say, he makes a comment about Meri. He says that she never knows what she wants. She has not, for 33 years, has not known what she wants. Meri never knows what she wants. And do you really think that's true? I mean, I will say that she did go in circles with the whole, working with at-risk youth. We did hear about her, wanting to go back to school. Did she ever go back to school? Like, she talked about going back to school many times throughout the seasons.
I also can see what he means. I think that Meri, while she said she wanted to live plural marriage, didn't really act like it, like when the other people came into the family.
So he's still bitter about that 33 years later?
I think so.
You think he's still mad at her about how she treated Janelle?
And and everybody, it seems like, has a problem with her. I don't know. I mean...
So this is the best, is Kody suggests that Meri get an RV and live on Coyote Pass.
While they build...
what did he call it?
It's a barn-dominium.
Barn-dominium, yes.
And I've seen these things on TikTok.
Are these real things?
It's a real thing.
I have never heard of barn-dominium.
And it is. They describe it. It's kind of like a big metal building. So, you could store cars in there. You could just like a huge storage unit, but you take a portion of it. And the ones I've seen on TikTok are pretty fancy. They will make kind of like a little apartment inside of it. And he's talking about making a loft.
Yes.
Not even on ground level. It's just, you gotta be like in the loft upstairs with the hay, I guess. I don't know.
So that is his new idea, is Meri could she could live in this barn-dominium on Coyote Pass.
Yeah,
first in the RV.
Right. First in the RV while they build the barn-dominium.
And then move into the barn.
Yes. And really what he's thinking is that, you know what? Here's a good way to basically force Meri to contribute to paying off Coyote Pass. Because they can't build on it until it's paid off. So then Meri would have this incentive to contribute towards paying it off. She's not falling for it. In fact, she
called him on it.
Extremely offended by it. And because he's talking about, I can store my cars in there and all my other stuff. He's got so much stuff now. Yeah. Because he got kicked out of everybody's house.
He's got so much
He's got so much stuff he had to put it in storage.
He has a car that he just drives in the summertime.
Just in the convertible.
Oh, how nice for you.
Yeah.
That you just get this car just for the summertime.
So this is going to be his storage unit. And then Meri literally says, and then he's going to store me in there.
That's the smartest that woman has. That is the smartest she has ever been. Well, I was like, yes, you get it now, Meri. You're getting it.
You know
Your
why?
Storage to him. You know what it is? You are something that is in the way that is keep taking up room and space in his life. And it would be great if I can just store you away over there.
And I don't have to look at you.
And I don't have to look at you or ever deal with you. And what would be even better is if you paid rent.
Right.
Because you would charge her rent.
And pay off the property and pay rent.
Yeah.
Yeah. And, it's obvious that these confessionals that we're seeing are much farther in the future because, her hair is different. Her hair is completely different. And she's angrier.
Yes.
She's pissed because all of this stuff has already happened.
Yeah. Well, she's seen last season.
And she saw last season.
Where he's basically said, I don't care about her.
Yeah. The tell-all, whatever you want to call it, the end of the season thing. She has seen that. She's lived through all this stuff. And she's angry. She's like, F you. And then stupid Robin says, see, Meri, this makes me happy because Meri really is part of Kody's big picture. And it's like, no, he just wants her money.
Yeah. No, Meri says it. She says, Kody does not see any value in me at all. And that,
Thank you, Meri.
Yes. Well, it's just, and I hate the fact that this has all come down to the fact that it's about whether or not this man can value these women. Yeah. I mean, it's
what about your
unreal.
Own self-worth and self-value? Yeah. We don't need Kody's validation.
But poor Meri, apparently at that time, Meri did. Who said, I need you to always tell me that there is hope? I mean,
was Robin.
That was Robin. Oh, God.
I think. No. Oh, Robin was saying that Meri told her that she needed Robin to keep reminding her and telling her that there was always hope because Meri is just feeling so despondent. I didn't believe any of that. Yeah, that's just something that Robin is making up to fit her narrative and her storyline.
That she's this champion. Basically, what she's saying in the confessional is that Meri keeps coming to her saying, lift me up and prop me up, and I need you to tell me there's hope. But all the while, all of the confessionals that we've seen of Meri, even last season, has been, well, Kody doesn't want anything to do with me. Cody's not going to care. So obviously this is all going on in Robin's mind. She must think that this is what their conversations are about, or she's lying.
She's just lying because Meri already called her out on the fact that, for the last 2 years, 3 years, whatever it's been, Robin's not calling her.
Yeah.
She's not there.
Well, so then so why can't Meri just go?
Because I think she feels like this is all she has. It's like she has one child, and I think she is close to Leon now. I feel like because I've seen posts that she's done in support of Leon, and I think they have a good relationship. Mm-hmm. But Leon lives in another state, and, basically Meri's just not part of the family anymore. Mm-hmm. And I think it's scary for her. Yeah. She's kind of hanging on to this last string because she's afraid. She's lived her entire life in this big family unit, and it's got to be scary for her,
But a lot of this is of her own making. It's not her fault that she only had one child. She obviously wanted more. But again, we did have to go through a lot of these IVFs. I mean, if she wanted to have more, she could have.
She could have adopted.
That's the other thing too. She could have adopted children. I mean, that's the other part of it too. Is there's something about Meri that There's something about Meri that just kind of drives me crazy because she's looking at her life now, and there's this attitude of, I don't know how I got here, but it's like, well, no, you made a series of choices. Like, you don't have a relationship with all these other children because you were a big hard ass and you were tough on them, and you weren't very nice, and you did not offer to run and help with childcare as much as these Janelle and Christine really needed.
She also never was willing to accept less resources.
She was never, ever. She
always wanted the equal resources when she did not have equal expenses.
Yeah, she always wanted the same amount. Yeah. And so they've seen her all these years live a better lifestyle than them. So, I mean, you created I'm sorry, Meri, you created all of this dynamic and what's going on now. But I think it's real crappy that Kody just won't level with her, but
well, again, it's you know what? If Robin didn't care, I don't think he would care, and he would just level with her.
Yeah.
But again, you can see Robin is so desperate to hang on to Meri, and Kody admitted, he said, if he abandons the other wives, Robin will lose respect for him.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Okay.
So do we feel like did she finally tell him? I mean, have we gotten to some sort of resolution now? She's going to move her clothing business too.
Well, she said, I don't want you to think that I'm abandoning you because I still have hope, to which he basically just, looked at her and said, okay.
So now we get, because they had to self-film all of this, we get Kody talking to the camera, and he's excited.
He thinks he might get a kiss tonight.
Yes. No, trust me. I think he was wanting more than a kiss. Trust me.
Oh yeah, I know.
He did a once over on us. He man sculpted. He got himself all ready for this big date, and so he's picking her up, and he's telling the camera, I got a reservation at the nicest restaurant, not just in Flagstaff, in the state of Arizona. In the nicest restaurant in all of Arizona. And then this is the next thing that he talks about. He says, well, it's so weird to be going on a date with your wife when you're still with your lover and wife.
And your other wife and your lover.
So I'm like, so is Robin the lover?
I guess she's the designated lover because he's not with any of the other. He's not with Meri. He's not with Christine.
Yes. You know what's so funny about those two? I do not see anything between the two of them at all. They don't
have a lot of chemistry, but they're not according to him, they're not allowed to.
They're not allowed to have all this chemistry. But the thing is that, so for someone who feels like he's about to rip off her clothes at any moment, like he can barely stand himself with Robin, when you see the two of them together, I think there's a lot more chemistry between Janelle and Kody than there is between Kody and Robin. So that's so weird.
Well, I think it's because Robin tries extra hard not to, maybe, because she's just one of her. She has so many hang-ups, but that's one of her hang-ups. I don't know. I don't see it.
Yeah, I don't see it either. But then, so Janelle gets in the car and she's really feeling herself.
Yeah,
she's like, ooh.
Like, I'm totally in control here.
Yes. So, and then he tells her all excitedly, I got a reservation at where? At Mariposa. And so she's super excited because she's always wanted to go. I bet you he's been promising to take her there for a decade.
Well, that's what she said. She said, we've always like tried to go there and made reservations, but then we had to cancel them because something came up.
Yeah. So like Robin had a meltdown.
Right.
So they're very excited. And of course, Kody wants to tell us about how he got a reservation and even Janelle couldn't get a reservation when she tried.
He's Kody Brown.
Yeah, he's Kody Brown. He's very happening. So, and then they're talking and this is when she does start to kind of, she friend zones him, essentially. He's having all of these thoughts about what's going to happen. And she very clearly sort of says, okay, this is fun. We're hanging out.
She basically says, I have nothing else to do. It's better than staying home and watching TV.
Yeah.
That's literally what she said.
Yeah. So she tells him, and you can see he's slowly, and he says it. He's like, I'm slowly moving farther down.
Right.
Like it's starting to realize like, oh man, like I made this reservation. I did all this stuff and she's not going to bone
there.
me.
No,
it's not going to happen. No Renaissance for us.
No, not even a hand job.
Nothing.
Not even a peck on the cheek.
No. She tried to hold his hand at one point and it didn't feel right.
She said, she grabbed his hand. It didn't feel right. And she let go.
Yeah. So if that doesn't tell you something, now you know how it feels, Kody, when someone drags you along and makes you feel like it's something more. Now
exactly.
You're kind of getting a taste of your own medicine. But then they decide to turn the camera off.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Well, she wants to turn it off because she just said it felt awkward.
Which I can imagine. I mean, it's such an awkward angle. But apparently they went to Sedona. So this Mariposa must be in Sedona. Mm-hmm. They went to Sedona, walked around, looked at art, had dinner, and basically she said, that's it. That was it.
Yeah. She said that she doesn't see any path forward for them. They're different people. He's wrapped up with Robin's family. And that's it. She just needed that confirmation.
Yeah. Well, and the other thing that she says that's important is she's like, Robin and Kody, they think alike. They want the same things. And I don't want to be in something where I'm not considered. Mm-hmm. And that's huge. I mean, she's not wrong that she's not ever considered because she's always been Janelle will just go along with whatever. And I think she's rightly so, feeling like my kids are out of the house. I don't want to just keep going along to get along. Yeah. I don't want to be Meri. I don't want that.
Nobody wants that.
Poor Meri. Nobody wants to be Meri.
I'm starting to really have some compassion for Meri, and just feeling really badly for her. And I'm so glad that this is, I think.
Yeah, they are.
It's
I think
finally,
they made an announcement.
Yeah, that's right.
It was on Instagram.
That's right. They made their announcement. It's finally over.
The one announcement he hasn't made is with Janelle.
Yeah.
They've never made a formal announcement. I swear to God, I think he is still holding out. I had no idea that he had these feelings for Janelle. I always thought that they had more of a buddy-buddy relationship.
Business relationship.
Yeah, a business relationship. But apparently there's some freaky deaky stuff going on between the two of them because he does not want to give it up. She must, I don't know what the hell's going on, but there's something in there that obviously there's a real passion between the two of them, which
and they've been separated before and gone back. And that's what he said. He says, we've been in worse places than this before.
Yeah.
And we've been able to come back from it. But this time, the difference is you fucked with her kids.
Yep.
And, I also have a question about, do you think that Maddie has had any contact with Kody at all or has any relationship with him anymore? Because, they never come out to Utah or Arizona. Like Janelle always goes to them. They didn't come out for like Gwen's wedding. It'd be interesting to see if they came out for Christine's wedding. Because Christine and Maddie are very close. Well, but I just have a feeling that Kody has not been out there. I think he went out there when Evie was born. Maybe. I feel like that's the last time he saw them.
It could be. Listen, I understand they have 3 small children, right?
Yeah.
I mean, I do understand why they don't want to get on an airplane
and it's
with
expensive.
their 3 small children. It's very expensive and come out to visit. And now, but that is a good question. It doesn't sound like it, but does he ever call her? But it doesn't sound like he calls anybody.
No.
He's not calling any of the kids.
They have to call him.
Yeah.
Everyone has to come to him.
So I bet you anything Maddie checks in with him maybe once a year, twice a year, and kind of tells him or sends him photos of the kids, and that's it. Maybe.
Well,
maybe
he's probably mad at her because, she's on Christine's side.
Yes. Well, but I don't think he's as mad at her and part of that's just geography because she's just somewhere else that I'm sure if she lived in Flagstaff or Utah, they would definitely be at the rental house.
Right. Well, and also
without Kody.
They also these adult children don't get paid for. Mm-hmm. I mean, maybe they do now.
I would think maybe now they probably get paid.
Because there was something that came out online where maybe McKelty confirmed that, she had a baby on the show. Mm-hmm. Like, we literally watched her have a baby. Madison had her, the first baby at home when she was living in Janelle's bed. Mm-hmm. Like, none of them ever got paid anything for any of those episodes ever. So I think at this point, if they were smart, they'd be like, we're not appearing on the show unless you pay us.
Yeah. So maybe I would think that maybe Gabe and Garrison and Gwen maybe get a little stipend or something. Here's my other question is at this point where the show is happening, so we're in May of 2022, is Meri still contributing to the family pot of money?
Probably.
Like that's what I'm wondering about. That's the other thing.
Yeah.
Is Kody not also telling Meri to get lost? Well, but he's saying it on the show. So apparently he's not worried about losing her or losing her income.
I don't know.
Because of all of them, I don't know now with, I don't know if at this point Christine and Janelle were doing Plexus. They must be. But I wonder if she's the biggest earner. Because I had always heard that Meri was like her LuLaRoe. I hate how she always has to say clothing business. It's like, we all know what it is. So, but that she makes the most money. But maybe I'm wrong.
I have no idea. I think she makes a pretty good amount because Meri does a lot of like traveling and you see her.
I mean, that house is huge.
Right.
It's like enormous.
It's like $5,400 a month in rent.
So she has to be doing well. And she doesn't own the inn outright.
I think she might.
Okay. But how many people are really staying at that inn?
No idea.
I wonder. It's probably just paying for itself. I don't think she's making a profit. So she makes the bulk of this money from her clothing. I wonder if she does really. I'm just wondering what's happening financially. Like, is she still contributing money into the family pot? Is that maybe the other motivation for Robin? Because, listen, Robin has never really worked. So
she's never brought any money in.
Yeah. I mean, except from my sister wife's closet.
Oh, yeah.
But she's never brought any money in. So maybe that's what it is.
I'm sure it is.
I don't know.
But I'm so exhausted by this Meri Robin thing. I hope this is the end of it. Because it's giving me a headache. No,
we're then going to have to hear her talk about how I'm moving my clothing business to the inn. And then we're going to have to watch her move the clothing business. And then we're going to have to hear her talk about how Kody doesn't care. And, I think we're going to have to watch her do that. Robin's going to be crying, saying, I can't believe this is happening. Yeah. So it's going to go on and on and on and on and on. So when did Christine meet David?
I believe it was October of 2022.
Okay. Got it. So we're now in May of 2022. Okay. Got it. All right.
Yeah. So, and the scenes from the next week's episode looked good. It was Garrison and Gabe and Gwen talking about, talking smack about Kody.
Well, talking about the infamous gift exchange.
The gift exchange. Oh, they were talking smack about Robin.
Yeah.
Yeah. And they get into specifics about how she said this and she said, so that's going to be good.
So yeah, we should probably watch that episode and then go back to see what Robin says. Like go back to the original, because they talked about this in the first,
in the beginning of this season.
The first or second episode, they talk about this. Yeah. And I would be very curious. I'm sure some sleuth is already doing it.
It'll already be on TikTok and analyzed and compared.
I know. I don't know how people get I am always looking for the sneak peek of Sister Wives, and I can never figure out where to find it. And then yet people are talking about it already.
Oh, well,
and people were even talking about Kody's ring, that David Yurman ring. Like someone had found out how much it cost, and it's like, God, you guys are good.
They are detectives. Yeah, the sneak peeks. I'm actually trying not to watch the sneak peeks because the sneak peeks reveal too much.
Yeah.
And then when you go to watch the episode, you're like, okay, I already know this. It kind of spoils the episode.
Yeah. So I like to bathe in it in the moment.
So I've been avoiding the sneak peeks. But yeah, all you have to do is go on TikTok and do hashtag SisterWives sneak peek.
Okay.
TikTok is the place.
Yeah.
It's everything is broken down, analyzed. You don't need to do any research. You don't need to think. You just take it
go. In. Okay.
Yeah. God, that TikTok is like the greatest invention.
All right. Well,
okay.
And then, so the big gossip was that Christine has gotten married. I heard that Gwen said something. I saw a brief thing that Gwen made a comment on her show about Kody, but I did not write it down. Sorry. Well, bad journalism. Sorry.
Yeah. Like she was saying that basically that Kody is not as bad as everybody thinks and that they're editing it so that he's the villain and Christine's the hero, and that they both have done things, and she's sticking up for Kody.
Okay,
which I don't know why.
Well, but the other thing is,
hasn't really been that great to her.
Yeah, but I do wonder, because there seems to be there's so much animosity that Kody has for Christine, that I do wonder if she, again, I think it came from a place of being neglected, but I do wonder if she was just
poisoned her kids against him.
No, more of just angry at him, like at all of the sunshine and all of that. Like it turned to anger, and I wonder if she really was like rough on him and mad at him all the time, and because certainly she does admit that she did do things that kind of pushed him away because she was so hurt. But I'm not saying that she acted like this hysterical woman all the time. I'm just saying that she might have been difficult, really, really difficult to deal with. Again, rightly so. But I think that maybe that's what Gwen is alluding to, that maybe they fought a lot. Like they both really fought a lot, that she really didn't.
It wasn't as one-sided.
That she really, when he would come over, because she was so pissed he never came over. When he did come over, she was maybe really rough with him or pissed at him, or maybe I don't know. I think she witnessed a lot of things.
I think that's true, because I remember when we were doing our rewind and I want to say it's, maybe season 3 or were they in Las Vegas? Yeah, I think they'd already moved to Las Vegas. They're in the rental. I don't know, like I keep saying episode, season 3 or 4, something along those lines. And there's the episode where Meri tells Christine, you're too hard on him. She's talking to Meri about how bad her relationship with Kody is. And Mary's telling her, look, you need to be a little softer. You're so hard on him. You're so basically like you're just a total nag. So what do you think his reaction is going to be? And so she decides to take Mary's advice. And the next time Kody comes over, she's trying to be real sweet and she's not nagging him. And she says, come and sit down and rest. And he's like, oh, what? You don't have a list of chores for me to do? And she's like, no. I'm making dinner and you come sit down. And she was, it was very kind of insincere. But, she was doing this experiment to see if, she was, and Kody remarked how nice it was that she wasn't nagging him and she wasn't complaining and she wasn't this or that. And I'm sure that lasted for like 2 days or, a week or 2, whatever. So I think that has always been, I think she has been so resentful towards him. And maybe perhaps rightfully so.
Yes.
But,
and Robin, I think she's been very resentful
right.
towards both of them. And you know how much he loves Robin. So if you're mean to Robin.
Right. Exactly. But it doesn't change, even if she's justified in being resentful, it doesn't change the effect that it had on Kody and Robin.
Yes.
Because then they're just like, God, why is this woman so hard on us?
Yes. Well, and also I think Robin really came in and did the Stepford wife thing of, you know, I bet you anything she did.
She got her chores done.
Yeah.
So she could spend time with him.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. She was there available for him. I'm sure she cooked him a nice meal. I'm sure she, you know, she did a lot of things.
Yeah.
And I think she made herself very, very easy to deal with. And I think that, and I think Janelle's always been easy to deal with.
She has very low demands.
And I think that was, and Christine wasn't.
Right.
And I think it became more and more glaring. And I think Meri's somewhere in the middle of all of that. I think it was always easier at Meri's because she only had one child. That, you know, you don't have a list of, you know, I don't think Meri had more time during the day to do the chores and to get stuff done. Poor Christine had 6 kids and a lot going on, and she was trying to make it work. And I'm sure she did feel like she was this single mother and didn't want that and was so angry and resentful about the whole thing. So, yeah. I don't know what to say anymore, but I'm glad Gwen. It sounds like maybe Gwen still has a relationship with him, or maybe I don't know if she's defending him.
Yeah, she is defending him, but then she said neither one of her parents invited her to Christmas. December of 2021. So
okay,
I don't know. All right. Well, another exciting
The writing is on the wall.
The writing is on the wall. Janelle has left the building.
Yes. And Meri's not seeing the writing. She's kind of sort of seeing now she sees the writing.
Yeah.
But
anyway. Yeah. Okay. Well, thank you so much for joining us. If you haven't already, please subscribe to the podcast. That really helps us a lot. It just takes a second. And while you're subscribing, if you can leave us a 5-star rating and review, that would be helpful as well. We are doing Love is Blind. There's a few more episodes left. Episode 8 and 9 this week. And then the finale, episode 10 next week. And then we're going to do a documentary or two, and then we might get back to our rewind, Sister Wives Rewind.
Yes.
We'll see how it goes. But anyway, thank you so much. You can visit us on TikTok or Instagram at PsychLegalPop, and we'll see you next time.
Bye.
Bye.
This message comes from Jackson. Taxes aren't something you can only think about once a year. With investments, planning for tax day is year-round. Fortunately, Jackson offers tax-efficient products. Visit jackson.com for more information on how our products can make your tax bill a little bit less painful. Jackson is short for Jackson Financial Incorporated, Jackson National Life Insurance Company, Lansing, Michigan, and Jackson National Life Insurance Company of New York, Purchase, New York.